liked videos because hey, guess what? I found HaiTun. HaiTun has a YouTube channel. Look, so I gave them the big sub. Go give them the big sub if you are around because they've reviewed their own cube. So we should probably look at those.
正面的这个设计很好看，反面印有HaiTun官方的一些。
coming from that? I can't remember if I set that up. I'm sure I did. It comes on as default. I'm sure someone will let me know. Hi, Brandon. Welcome along.
二维码，大家可以关注。
Spoilers. I've not watched this whole video yet, but got some super tragic background music. I'm not sure what's going on there, but that's all right, you know. So here we go. This is the HaiTun cube, the Wave Rider V1, or the Dolphin cube, as it's kind of known to everyone. Can I see anyone I know in the comments? Not yet. So there's Pioneer. They've taken all the tornado names. You can hear it.
大家好，我是岳晨，今天为大家带来的是HaiTun展望唯一的测评。感谢HaiTun魔方为本次测评提供的魔方。
So this looks like a repost.
首先来看看外包装，HaiTun的包装是很小巧的。 外面是这种绿色，叫做盒子底部会标注不同的版本。HaiTun魔方，一个展示架和一个配件包，还有一
This is standard. This is pretty standard. Cube stand accessories card. It's like anything's got this now that's even moderately premium.
张身份卡一些二维码，大家可以关注一下。
Yeah, go follow our stuff. What have we got in the box?
这个是调轴毯的。
Got a key that unlocks a panda.
这个是调磁的，后面会详细介绍。
More on that later.
然后这个绒布袋感觉质量不错，触感也蛮好。
That's come straight out the same place the GAN bags.
这个是擦拭布，这个地方印了HaiTun的 logo.
That's I always appreciate that. When a cube company thinks.
还有一个3阶魔方还原教程和一个调试说明书。
I do wonder why they put.
先对比一下配色，拿风3对比一下。
The internet does exist. Whoa.
先对比一下配色。
Okay, so yeah, important to remember that this looks like it's a repost. There's a blurred out bit in the top left here. I'm not sure why. Is this a legit repost?
拿风3对比一下。
Yes, it must be. Comparing the colors to the tornado. Yeah, they look like colors. That's blue.
魔方尺寸是这样的。
Yo, I have those calipers. Bang on 56.
魔方表面是光面，诡异脱手。
55. It's a bit of a trend to have a 55.5.
标准版的棱块和角块是这样的。
Edges and corners of the stand.
这个是旗舰版的棱块和角块。
Corners of the flagship.
魔方的防粘槽是这种心形的，跟这个调试工具放一起，感觉很可爱。 心形。
Look, they're little hearts. It does look like it's frosted compared to that used V3. I think it is frosted, Marcus.
跟这个调试工具放一起，感觉很可爱。
There's a bit of a cuteness overload actually. I don't hate that.
两个版本都
see
是
the
没
tiny little magnets there on the corner too. Look. Doot, doot, doot. There's some shenanigans afoot. So that leads me to believe it's not a ball core. There's just something else going on in the sort of original one. Cube squared with the excellent take. This video is making me realize we should normalize classical guitar in the background of Cube reviews. I don't hate that. Normalize classical guitar. Shout out to all the
两个版本都是没有轴磁的，在刚上手时会感觉。
What happened? Both versions are without core magnets. Yeah, okay, so we don't have a ball core.
在刚上手
There's some other shenanigans.
在上粘油磨合之后，
After
能明
running
显
in with
感觉
sticky lube, you can
增加。
clearly feel an increased
旗舰版和标准版
Must be mad,
出厂
man.
状态下，我感觉两个魔方手感很像， 但
There's
是
not
加
much
油磨合
between
之
them,
后，我
but
感
after
觉旗
lubing
舰
and
版
braking,
确实
the
会比标
flagship
准版
version
更
will
加稳
indeed be more stable than the standard.
来看一下魔方的调
What's the
试，
difference?
这个魔方的轴距、
What
反力、
is the
阻力
difference?
全部都是竖条，避免了螺丝调试比例
Medical tensions,
恐惧的
yeah, duh. know we're gonna get that. That must be what your little panda mate's for.
这个螺丝大家不要动，参考
Don't
风三
move
楼。
this screw.
内层是调轴距的，可以用这个调试工具顺时针转。
Huh?
内层是调
The
轴
inner
距的，
circle is center distance. So
可以
don't
用这个调
screw
试
it
工
out.
具顺时针转。数值可以看这个小箭头，对应的大。
Woof. All right. I'm not sure I love that. That looks like hard work. Also, that screw's been threaded. So that's been chucked together. Interesting.
大小就是
Unless this
轴距的
guy, the
大小
reviewer, has mashed it with
比
his
如
screw.
这个轴距是4，外层是调弹力
It's
的，
not good
这里有
for
个小
man
洞，
eyes.
后面正式版应该会改。
Marcus
逆
is
时
getting a
针
lot
调
of
弹力
tornado V3.
但是弹力
Yeah,
的
well,
大
they
小
called them
并不是看
flagship
这个
Pioneer
箭
in
头，
standard, didn't
而
they?
是看内层1
But
所
also
在的
Tangy
位置。
V2 vibes.
比如这个弹力是6，
Oh, I can't remember
磁
enough
力
about
同样是
Tangy
竖条
V2.
这个磁力是数值越大，
Oh,
磁
so
力
you
越
have
小。
a little key to do the
调试
magnets.
方法是用这一段
Is that what's
对
happening?
准这个缺口，按下去，再旋转。
Press down and rotate. Oh. Lots of them are going to get sent back broken. I don't know if I'm going to get
我
this.
旗
Hey,
舰版调试方
I've
案
been
是
burned
磁
too
力
many
3，
times
轴
by
距4，
new
弹力5。
new
标准版的调试方案是磁力
what's the word?
1，
New
轴距
manufacturer
4，
hype.
弹力6。上
When
游
it's
都
like
是卡角石黑，接触
no, so
面
like
外
the
接。
MS Cube.
在这个配置下，给大家看看容错。
Nah,
这个是标准版
just no one
正容
cared. No one cared. What was the other one? There was MSQ,
Neo.
and then there was the Try More. What was the Tianma?
这个是旗舰
Tianma
版
was the brand, or was the Tianma the Tianma was the model? Tianma, I can't
Neo.
remember. But just rubbish, garbage. Like it's like
好，总结
how
一
you
下，
never buy the
海豚
first
展望
thing
唯
of
一，
anything
表
new
面
that
为
Apple
光面，
makes.
磁
Or
力、
try
轴
more,
距、
it's like-
弹力采
Never
取
buy the
纯
first
竖
thing
条
Apple
方
makes
式，
because it's
对不
testing.
擅长调试的网
It's
友
the
来
same
说
with
非
cube
常友好，
manufacturers. You know, they're
也很
testing
容
it.
易借鉴别人
They'll
的调
tested
试
it
方
with
案。
fast cubers, and they've
海
gone
豚
fast.
展望唯一这个新
They
品
haven't
应该也
tested the
快上
reality
市
of，how many of
大
them
家可以
explode,
期
how
待
many
一
of
下。
them just puke their magnets and parts out. All right, well, that was fun. Hey, did we feel like we learned something? I'm not sure I understand the difference
打开
between
后映入眼帘的是，
one and the
大
other.
约
Here
在
we
2
go.
年前，海豚申
Here's
请了一些
this.
专利。
This is HaiTun Wave Rider, a cube with no shortcoming, all-rounder speed cube from a new brand. Okay. One day ago by HaiTun Cube. Who's this fella? Who are we looking at here? Hey, Hat, welcome along.
大约在2年前，海
About 2
豚申
years
请了
ago,
一些
some
专利，
patents
就引
filled
起
by
了我的注
HaiTun
意。
caught my
1年半
attention. Okay, so this person is not from HaiTun either. Cube square, the center custom settings that are really confusing. It's just like hard to read. Hey, look at this baller with his just spare keyboard up on the shelf, ready to rip. Oh, Marcus, you'll be pleased. I finally bought a proper keyboard, like not a throw in the bin one with actual keys that I can replace and is actually good and just won't break. I broke 3 of those cheap ones from Mighty 8. Hap is going to the Littleton comp in February. Hap hype? Marcus, I don't really see anything new that's not already existing in other cubes. Well, let's see what this chap's got to say, because I did watch a bit of this video and he had some interesting calls.
前，
So
海
he's seen
豚
some
建立了
patents
官方
half a year ago, and then HaiTun established a QQ group. I don't know what a QQ group is. Your guess is in the comments, please, everyone. What is a QQ group? You can Google that
在
if you
今
want.
天，海豚的第一
And
款魔
today,
方
the
展浪
HaiTun's
V1
first cube,
终于要
Wave
来了
Rider。V1 is
先说结论，
finally
这是一
here.
款
Let's start with the conclusion. This bit caught my attention. Let's start with the conclusion. This is a cube with almost no shortcomings. Well, there's a bull.
几乎没有短板，但也没有突破性
But also no radical innovation. There you go, Marcus. You're
创
validated.
新，均衡之刃般的魔
Cube
方。
just like the
开个玩
blade
笑
of
就是
balance. Maybe that's a reference that I'm not getting from a culture I don't have any kind of understanding of.
的坏消
Bad
息
news, it
缝合
copies
怪，
other
好
cubes.
消息
Good
全
news, it
缝上了，
copies
还
so
有
many
所改
cubes,
进。
there are even improvements. Okay, so it's kind of like whoever this is, review from Chen Mo. So whoever Chen Mo is, whoever Chen Mo is, they're calling it out for being like, yeah, it's not reinventing the wheel, but it's also good because it's not reinventing the wheel. So let's see what our mate Chen Mo's got to say about it. Basic information. Uh-oh, I'm out of skills. Skill
我
issue.
知道你很急，
I
想
know
看
you're
魔方
eager to
本
see the
体， 但
cube.
你先
See it
别
right there,
急。
buddy.
我们按照惯例
Anyway,
过一
visual
遍
for the
包装和
packaging
配件，
accessories as
脸
usual.
连的
Don't
产
care,
盘
don't
50
care.
把内
Oh,
容
what's
丰
this?
富。再看到魔方 logo 有一层
Cube
磨砂的
logo.
感
It
觉，
has a
用手盘
matte
是盘不掉的。
feel. You can't
表
get it
面则
off with
采
your
用了微
hand.
雾面，
Surface
在我
is
右手
made
的
of
加持下，磨合50把内
turn it a
即可
smooth
画成
surface.
光面。
50
两个
solves, you
版本
reckon,
均
eh?
重约80克，于我而言几乎是踩着3阶魔方
Almost
重量
stepping
的
on the
底线
bottom
了。
line.
如果你重约80
The
克，
weight,
于我
80.
而
That's
言
quite
几乎是
chunky,
踩着
actually.
3阶魔
Is it?
方重量的底线了。
Sorry, John.
如果你习
Volume
惯了如
adjustment.
今那些轻量化的怪物，
Is
确实
that
会
John
显得
Baxter?
较
John
重，
Baxter from
但上
Uni
手
John
适
Baxter.
应一
Hey,
下
John.
其实也还好。听说后续可能还有第3个
There
版
may
本，
be a third
如果是
version
加
in the
入次元
future.
符的话，重
There
量
should
就
be a
是在
third
手
version in
指
the
和
future.
大
They're
关
talking
了。
about
我猜
they're
测
talking about the tornado the tornado tiers. They're talking about standard, flagship, pioneer. I still don't know. Oh, I guess there shouldn't be a maglev version.
应该不会。
What
如
are you
果是加入次
talking
元符
about?
的
If
话，
it is to
重
add
量
the
其实也
magnet,
还
doesn't
好。
people get used to
听
it?
说
Come
后
on,
续
buddy.
可能还有
I
第
heard
3
that
个
there may
版
be a
本，
third
如果是
version
加
in the
入次元
future.
符的话，
If it is
重
to
量
add the
会分
maglev,
90克大
the
关
weight
了。
may go straight to the
我猜
90
测
grams. I
应该
guess
不
there
会出次
shouldn't
元
be
符
a
的版本。
maglev version. Okay, we got some translation. It is. Hi, John. Welcome along. Okay, so our man here, Chen Mo, what he's suggesting that these are all springy boys and they're not maglev. That's interesting. We're diving into the adjustment system, everyone.
再来看到展浪 V1 的调试系统，官方名为精
Let's
准微
see.
距
Oh my God, look at that name, the Precise Microspan Numerical Setting System. Ooh, or the PMSNSS for short. The Precise Microspan Numerical Setting System.
数字
Chewy. All
化
right.
档位调试系统。众所周知，名字
We
越
all know
长
that the
就
longer
越
the
厉
name, the
害，
more
对吧？
stronger it is, right? Yeah,
乍一
Marcus
看
is
你可
dying.
能会觉得不就是3竖条吗？很多魔
That
方
is
都有了呀。
ridiculous.
但让我们仔细来
Let's
看，
take a
首先
closer
是
look.
档位的数量，轴弹均有8
8
档，
gears of
磁力有6
compression,
档，是挺
6
多的。
gears of magnet.
再
That
实
is
际
quite
的
a
去
lot,
调一
Chen.
调，是不是
Actually,
每调
adjust
整
it with
一
your
档
little
都
panda
容易
mate.
感知到手感的区别呢？是不是每一档都让魔方处于可用的状态呢？会不会像某些友商那
Would
样，
be like some
声称自己
companies
有1000
claims to
多
have
个
over
手感，
1,000 options.
但
Couldn't
多
care
半不
less,
会
eh?
用，甚至容易 pop 呢？展
Marcus,
浪给
this
我的
is
感
going to
受
get
是，
memed on, I
它做
reckon.
到了轴弹磁每档间都能有明显
There's
的
a
感知，
distinct
并
perception
且
in
绝大
each
多数都
gear,
处于
and
可
most
用的
of
状
them are
态，特别
usable.
是轴
Well,
距
that's
调
high
节，
praise,
每
especially
一
the
档间的差
center.
距为0.1毫米，
Can't see
大约相当于
no,
旋转
let's
90度的
rotate
螺
screw
丝调
adjustment
节，
by about 90
而盖
degrees.
是 0.2
How do
毫
I
米，
piece screws and
并且
springs?
展
I
浪
missed
通过
them.
优化齿轮的斜角，
By optimizing the
防止出
bevel
现
of the
跳档
gears,
的
there
情
is no
况。
gear
在
drop.
我1个半月的
What?
实际使用中，也确实
Okay,
从
he's
未
been
跳
using
过
it for a
档。
month and a half,
说
and
到
he's
跳
never
档，
slipped a
风三
gear.
代在发生转角
Corner
时
twist
可能
happen
会
on the
使磁力
tornado.
跳
It may
档，
cause
而展
magnet
浪也
gear
优化了
change.
这个问题，和跳档 say goodbye。剖
Gear
析完
drop?
细
I've
节，
never,
调
I
节
don't know.
方
I've
式
never
非
had
常
that.
简单，应该就
I
不
don't
需要
cue
我
enough,
赘
I
述
don't
了
think.
吧？最后提几个吹毛求疵的小
Ooh,
缺点。
nitpick
第一，
away,
不能
Chenmo.
徒手
Let's
调
go.
节，
First, you
我
can't
觉得
adjust
还
it with
好，
your bare
不过可
hands.
能有
That's
些人会在
annoying.
意这一
That
点。
is annoying. We live in
第
the,
二，
the
档
time
位
of the
数字没有
tornado.
做分色设计，
The gear
方本
numbers
来
are
档位
not
就多，
designed
数字
with
太小的它，
yeah. Okay, here we go then. Make it even worse. Too many gears. The numbers are
雪
too
上加霜
small.
不容易看清。
Not easy to
听
see.
说这一点下一款会
It
有
is
所
said
改
that the
进。
next one will be
第三，
improved. So why did you release this one, buddy? Why is this one? Why is this one out? If it's not good.
弹
See
力
what I
显示
mean?
不清
Never
晰。
buy the first
最
one.
中间的档位指示器所指向
If you
的
want to
数
get one
字
of
并
these
不
and
是
you're in
当
New
前的
Zealand,
弹力档位，
you're going to get
而
it from
轴距数
America.
字1所指向的弹力档
Attention
位
gear.
才是正确的。另外，展浪采用了可以在相同体积下提供更大弹力的塔形弹簧，不过可能会有弹簧音，建议润滑一下
Don't
弹
care
簧的
about
上
spring
下
noise.
末
Nobody
端。
cares. It's nothing. Spring noise is nothing.
介绍设
Before I
计前，
talk
先
about
得
the
摸一下
structures,
海豚
let's
的模
respect
具。
the mold accuracy
已
of the
经经过了，
HaiTun.
这点
Mold
非常
accuracy.
厉
Do we
害。
need to
成
see
本
any more of
也
this
不是
one?
独立的
I want to
原
see
因
him.
会产生
I want to
引力。
see
有
him
天马那样的
solve.
磁力舱吗？磁力舱的立柱仅有0.7毫米，在这里即可引
Oh,
出一
they're
个虽
quite
然感知
stout,
不
though,
强，
aren't
但
they?
确实
That's
让我
interesting. There, they've got that. I don't think I've seen this before. So they've they've got the magnets are part of the stock mold and not part of the tile mold. That's very interesting. Marcus, they were chunky springs. They were very Tengyun V1. Or what was the other one? Wasn't it it was the MGC 3x3. One of the MGC 3x3s, it came with spare springs and they were big chunky boys as well. But hey,
的卖点叫做
let's keep
柔性
going.
磁力定位，
It's called
也就是在转动魔
flexible
方时，
magnet
这个角块
positioning.
磁
So
力
they're
舱会随
supposed
着
to
距离能
flex.
块磁铁的远
Oh,
近产生
well,
自
they're
动
going to
摆
break
动，
and be a nightmare.
以此产生了更大的磁力范围，使定位感
They're
更加
going to
柔
be a
和。
nightmare, a
再看到轮块
returns
内部，
nightmare.
可调磁力舱则是摆动不了一点，其
That
通过3个
plastic's
巧
going to
妙
get
的点
old. It's
位
going to
支
get
撑固定，
brittle.
非常稳定，
I
也几乎没有
I
异响。
see what
接下来展浪
I
唯一
see
的
what
贴
they're
片
going
壁后
for.
同样
I
让我吃惊，
do
它
kind.
并
I
不是
don't
统一的
hate what
0.6
I'm
或
seeing in
0.8
those
毫
like
米，
in those
而
stalks
是
on the
薄的地
corners
方
or
甚
the
至薄
edges.
至0.6毫米来减重，需要结构强度的地方直接干到了0.9毫
Okay,
米。
so
没有
0.6
一味的为
mil,
了减重而全部采用超薄的壁
super
厚，或去削弱
duper
拼接结
thin
构，导致强
pieces.
度下降。顺带一提，摩擦面上的爱心型防
By
粘
the
条
way,
在靠近边缘的地方都做了收尾的
The
设计，
heart-shaped
防止润
grooves,
滑油的
they're
溢出，
cute.
值得好评。还有
Okay,
这
so
个
that's actually no, that's you would normally notice that, but actually that's it's very close together. It's quite narrow, so that should actually like not that cubes exactly. No modern cubes puke lube out, but yeah, it'll give you decent spread. It might make the break-in a little bit longer for a 50k lube because it's going to have to travel a little bit more. Cube squared, it's a good concept, but that flex is scaring me. It scares me as someone who has to deal with returns. Marcus, they had the right idea, but it probably won't work for too long. Nah, I mean, I don't know much about plastic, TBH, but I feel like that's going to get brittle. And there's going to be rattly magnets. Little Timmy's going to drop that. How many of those are going to break off when little Timmy drops it every 30 seconds at a cube comp? I don't like that. That gives me the heebies and the jeebies. But look, hey, this is interesting that you can see the wee magnet stuff happening here. So those are clearly corner to edge internal magnets. So we're using, see how there's a ball? There's always been a ball inside. But we've never had a ball inside the ball, which is where the ball core is coming from. But
收尾的设计，防止润滑油的溢出，
cool story,
值得
hey.
好评。 还
It
有这个
deserves
通过超
praise.
小螺
And
丝
this, the
固定调
integrated
试系统的
core
一体式轴心，不
of the
免让人
adjustment
联想到
system.
一些
What? Gosh, Chenmo,
通过
you
超
talk
小螺丝
fast.
固定调试系统的一体式。
The core, the integrated core of the adjustment system is fixed with
轴
ultra
心
small
不免让人
screws.
联想到
Where?
一些
Do you mean this screw here?
滑丝
It is inevitably reminiscent of some other cubes, which core is
转
easily
轴的前
broken.
位，但它在我拆装了几次
After
之
I
后，都会出现
disassembled,
滑丝的情
assembled
况，
and
以
reassembled.
及拥有合理的轴心侧翼曲线。它
Okay,
会在这方
make
面拍
believe won't
摄。
be bad in this regard. So he's
最后
talking
看
about
到
the
旗舰版
thread.
的双定位方
That's
案，
about the denseness
在
of the
卡角
plastic
上
in the
加一
core,
组
I
磁力
suppose,
定
as
位的
well.
方案，其实已经很
All
常
right,
见了。
okay, here we go. So this
但
is,
展浪
we
似乎
saw
用
this in
相近的方
MS,
式，
didn't we?
在
In the
卡角
MS
内侧
cube,
留出了微小
Marcus.
的磁铁槽，放入了定制尺寸的
Custom
强磁
size
磁
strong
铁。
magnet.
在刚拿到
Put
试货
in.
时，我
When
就
I
非
first
常
got the
担心这
prototype,
个
I
设
was
计
very
会容
worried.
易
Will
掉
this
磁。然而在使用期
drop
间，用我的
magnets?
手法怎么暴力，磁铁都丝毫没有脱落的迹象，
Violent
并
turning
且在正
style
式
from
版的磁铁
Chenmo.
处也有滴胶，应该是可以放心了。即使我
It's
还
not
是会
going
持怀
anywhere.
疑态度，这个设计真的是太大胆了。也许还
Chenmo
有一
is
些人一直
skeptical.
觉得
I wonder if
拼接
Chenmo's sponsored.
的配置以及润滑油，比如佛系滤盖、紫盖，接触面加粘油、柔四、弹三或
Okay,
防角概率
do
还
some
是会大一
solves.
些的。和多重打磨物流 MagLife， 内核数不清的小卡直接让我崩溃了，视频都不想出了。
I don't even want to make a video on the GAN 356M.
用来形容，在刚
I
到手
like
时
it.
转动
All
质
right.
感确实一般，
We have to
有
agree
一
to
定的磨砂
disagree on
感
that.
但在磨合过后会有显著的改善，整体也会稍软一些。
So yeah, it's going to be a big break in Cube because of the way that the internal
再聊聊
pattern
版
is,
本间的
because
区别，
it's really going to
旗舰
hold
版
on
和
to
标
that
准版还是有不小的
50k.
差别。由于魔方本身没有做游泳圈一类增加稳定性的设计，标准版又少一组卡角定位，
Standard version has
形变
one.
可能会比较大，不是那么的可控。
Oh, so it
不
could
过
get
相
a bit
对的会比
squishy.
旗舰版更加轻快，所以我建议标准版
I don't know. Have we seen enough of Chenmo? Chenmo. Oh, let's have a look at his conclusion.
怎么样？整体
How
看
did
下
it
来，
go?
觉
Overall,
得
how
这
much
款
do you
魔
think the
方售
price
价
of this
多少比
cube
较合
is
适
more
呢？
suitable?
海豚这款展浪 V1可以说是没有什么突破性的大
No
创新，
breakthrough
做所谓的
innovation
那些
or
黑科
so-called
技，
black
但无论是
technology.
对于
Ooh, I
魔
like
方
that.
3个关键维度轴弹磁的调节方案，较
See,
为出色的
okay,
性
so
能，且几乎没有小卡。
excellent
过
performance
度
and few
追求
lockups.
轻量
Okay,
化
I
的多
understand
重
that.
壁厚，对刚性有保障的稳固结构，整
So
体
it's
下来
stable,
谈不上
is
有
what I'm
非常
getting.
出彩的
Overall,
地
it's not
方。
outstanding.
但像这样一
Why
款
did they-
全面复古的
why did
魔方
they,
在市面上也不多见。从各个细节处也能
Why
看
did
出
they
海豚
repost this? It's not. I suppose it's not a terrible review. It's not a glowing review. Marcus, what is it priced at? Let's go and have a look at the Cubicle. And let's see if they have it. I'm not sure if they do. HaiTun, here we go. Standard is 26 US, so that's like just over $50. The flagship at 30 US. Mathematics. About 55, something like that. So they're not coming in too hot in terms of price, are they? That's not too hot, I don't think. So I don't hate that. I don't hate the price. Shall we go and see what the Cubicle said about it? It's actually, the Cubicle video is actually excellent. I think it's, I'm not sure if it's Jesse or Cubehead who edited it, but it's actually a very, very cool video.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Okay, so
today we have the Dolphin Cube.
I need to turn this up a bit.
Are cool. They're so cool that they turned them into a cube, and this is the result. We have no idea why they're called Dolphin Cubes. Do we have an idea?
Yeah, it's called.
Hopefully that's not feeding back and causing any issues.
That's the first dolphin fact. Phil is in the background. He's gonna share some dolphin facts with
Can
you guys.
I?
One of them is wrong.
Oh no, that is feeding back. That's absolutely feeding back. I'm going to put on closed captions.
Nothing.
So let me see. I think they just go through two versions, extra magnets in one of them.
Ooh, where are the magnets? Phil, throw a dolphin fact at us.
So Phil throws in some dolphin facts. It's all very funny. You should go and watch this video.
Your unique voice, right? So we have two versions. I assume the unboxing is similar, right?
Unboxing is exactly the same.
Yeah, obviously. You're better.
Go add them on WeChat.
This is the exciting part, guys. Accessories.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, we have cleaning cloth.
Oh, that must be where I got it from. They call it the Panda tool.
Dolphins, and that's actually like dolphin fact. I do too sometimes. Yes.
They've got dolphin jokes all the way through.
Okay, so this explains the...
It's pretty good.
Oh, they even call it
100% go and watch this video.
Oh, they call it the Wave Rider.
Yeah, it was. We even have.
I want to get into where they start talking about it. There we go. Standard 26.99. Yeah, so the Pioneer version doesn't exist yet. They're suggesting it'll have maglev and UV. That's a fair call. Like, that's a fair guess. What do you think it's going to have? Let me know in the chat or go and check on Reddit. And someone will be talking about it on Reddit, I'm sure. That looked pretty ugly, didn't it? I wasn't hugely inspired by those very first turns from Cubehead there. A little bit mashy.
I think the cube is kind of like a little snappy. Like it's really,
sounds
really
snappy,
fast.
hey.
So there's a lot of momentum in the turns. Like feels like you can very easily do a U4.
Are we almost getting U4s on that? Dang.
Yeah, that's like
but
the
that's
first thing I know.
actually that is unusual for a springy. Like you'd expect that on a you would expect that on a maglev. But that is a super fast.
This one feels even more
super fast springy boy. Marcus reckons he probably won't like it. What makes you say that, Marcus? What's your vibe? What's telling you it's not for you?
Yeah, so let's see what's up with these magnets. I'm really curious.
That's right. Yeah, there's a magnetic bump these guys were talking about, which is
while you figure it out, Phil is gonna
interesting.
Throw in another dolphin fact.
No spoilers.
So
go and watch the Cubicles video to get the full effect and not have me talking
also,
over
I
it.
don't like how if it's in the cube, right? It's kind of awkward to change it like this, though. That's why I like when magnets are in the corner.
Awkward, but not impossible to change the magnets while they're in the cube.
Yeah, but also the position is kind of easier. Yeah. So let's see how that feels. Ooh.
Ooh.
Wait, how many magnets are there? You have to change. It's like 24.
This is why I just don't like adjustable magnets.
But
Jesse is on board.
Well. Yeah,
Jesse is on
like
board. That's why I don't like adjustable magnets either. It's just such a faff around.
Because the other problem with this system is if you get a corner twist, it's going to change the position of the.
Well, Jesse, our man
Also,
Chan
if
Mo,
you
our man Chan Mo said that's
corner
not
is,
going to
like,
happen.
stuck in-
Our man Chan Mo said that there is no chance that a corner twist is going to goof up your magnets. So
also, if you corner twist,
Jesse speculating, that's also disgusting. Look at that corner twist; it just beds
It's the same
itself into the
problem that
magnets
tornado
there.
has, but
That's going to
yeah,
break them.
It doesn't feel good at all.
And that's what Jesse's saying here as well, contradicting Chenmo, because Chenmo said that the tornado corner twist gear dropping problem wouldn't be an issue, but then there it is right there. That looks like a problem. I wonder if that would happen in a solve, though. I'm not sure. I want to skip to these guys' conclusion.
What about the special magnets?
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. So there's special
Because
magnets.
I figure we've heard enough about the sort of
expensive.
the systems
All right,
and the
so
tech
let's
and
talk
everything.
more
Let's
about
hear what
the
Jesse
Dolphin
has to say.
cubes. So we didn't really talk too much.
So we didn't really
about how
talk
this
too
cube
much about how
feels,
this
like
cube
actually
feels,
like
what
to
it
turn.
actually feels
And
like
I've
to
been,
turn.
racking my brain trying to come up with a cube to compare.
What does
this
Jesse
to,
reckon?
And pretty much the best I could come up with is the original GAN 357 from like 10 years ago.
Wow, that's an unexpected take. A GAN 357. That's a wacky take from 10 years ago. So I guess that's good, maybe, because it's like, well, it is something new.
With softer plastic. To me, the cube feels really like clacky and snappy, which is really reminiscent of older GAN cubes. But there's also
Clicky
something in
and
there that's reminding
snappy.
me of a Dian feel. So it kind of feels like a combination.
Dian
of
in
GAN
there
cube
as
and
well.
Dian cube,
An old
but
GAN
somehow
and an
new
old
feeling. So of the two
Dian
versions of the cube, I do slightly prefer the flagship one, the
mashed
one with the extra
together.
magnets. I find it to be a little bit slow.
Whoop, there it is. The flagship's got extra magnets. So the flagship must have those magnets in the center. I guess the standard must just be standard edge to corner.
And more stable, which
Okay,
I like more.
that makes
Generally,
sense.
though, while solving, I found the cube to be very catchy and wobbly. So
Catchy
it can be
and
pretty
wobbly.
inconsistent at times.
Blech,
With tighter
not keen.
tension and stronger
Not keen.
magnets, you can definitely decrease that wobbly feeling. But I didn't really feel like I could actually get the cube to a point where I could really trust it in solves and just.
Jesse
all
has
out
trust
and as
issues
fast
with
as I
this
want.
cube.
So
That's what's
overall,
happening.
not a terrible cube. I actually kind of like the way it feels, the way it turns. It's just while solving, I'm
Oh,
not really getting anywhere.
These
close
takes
to
are all
what I
over the place
expect
from
my
Jesse.
GAN
He's
cubes.
like,
I do think
it
this
was
cube kind of
inconsistent.
has a
He didn't
shot
like
at
it.
being
He doesn't
the
hate
More
it.
Try Tianma cube of 2024. It's a new cube.
The more try of 2024. That's enough for me to not get it.
Manufacturer.
More
that's
try
full
of
of features
2024.
for a fairly reasonable
Is More
price.
Try
I
still
can definitely
around?
see
Are
how
they going to
people
release
would be
anything
curious
else?
about this cube, and for $25 and $30 for the two versions, I don't think it's horribly overpriced or a ripoff or anything. Is it the best cube ever?
I
don't
might
think
get
so,
one. I
but
might
is it
get
worth
one
checking
to
out
have a
if
look
you're
at.
curious about it? I don't see why not. And who doesn't love a cube covered in hearts?
Who
Alright,
doesn't love a
so I
cube
did
covered in
some
hearts?
solves on both of
Yes,
the
Jesse
Dolphin
knows.
cubes, and I like both of them almost like equally much. Initially, I liked the
I want
one
to see
without
what
the extra
Cube
magnets
Head's
more because it's just
comparison
a bit faster
take
out of
is.
the box. But it seems like as soon as I wanted to make stuff more controllable, I started to like
That's
the one
good
with the
times for
extra
him.
magnets more. But overall, the cubes feel fairly similar. And from the short session that
So
I
they're
did this,
similar.
I had
Yes,
some
we
decent
know
solves,
this.
I had some really bad solves, but I wasn't really getting great solves. So overall, the performance of these cubes is it's not bad. It's not bad at all. But is it great? I don't know yet. I'm
It's
definitely
mid,
not used to the feel
is
of
what
these
I'm hearing.
cubes yet. But if I had to describe
Hyper
what they
mid.
feel like, I would say the plastic is really soft, like a Dian cube, like the Tengyang V2. But these
So
cubes
definitely
are definitely more
Dian vibes from
dense
both of
and
them. And
blocky.
GAN
I did
357
notice
from
when I was
Jesse. That's
trying
really
to make
interesting.
these cubes more controllable by
Well, oh,
playing
what's he
with the
saying?
settings a bit,
Playing with the settings a
that if I had
bit.
to use more force to turn the cube because it was more controllable, I was getting more lockups, and I wouldn't get these lockups
Okay,
on
so to
other
get it
solid cubes
good,
like the
he was
YSTPF.
getting
And
to
since
the
I
point
wasn't
where it
fully
was
confident yet
locking
in like
and
doing
wasn't a
crazy high
vibe.
DPS, I just wasn't getting great times. I was
So
getting
that's a
okay
concern,
times, but
isn't it?
not great times. So maybe if I took the time and did more
I don't know. I feel like you got to fight it too much. I feel like they've really had to fight this cube. Do you know what I mean? Let's go back to let's go back. Hey Henry, how you going? Let's go and have a look at SCS and see
and in
what
today's
they
video, we're taking
reckon.
a look at the new HaiTun Wave
We have
Rider
chapters.
V1. So HaiTun is a new
Come on,
cube brand
lads.
that has
Where's the
recently
chapters?
released these two 3x3s here. These are the Wave Rider V1s,
I want
or as
to
some
see
people may
him.
know, as they've been called, which is a little hard
I
to see
want to
because it's
see
fully
you
transparent.
solving.
But I
Is
mean,
Cameron
it
going
does
to do any
look pretty cool.
solves?
So now we can go
Let's see what
ahead
Cameron says.
and move on to the performance and feel of the cubes.
Cameron's got it
One of these
unboxed.
yet, so let's see if I can tell them apart.
Let's see if you can tell them apart. I am just real quick going to change some settings because I think I've just realized I've been stupid about the volume. Sound, output, Yeti stereo. Here we go.
Wow.
There we go. Now I can hear that in my headphones. That's smart of me, wasn't it? Okay, here we go. Now I can turn this volume down.
It's interesting because the cube feels, it has like a cheap plastic feel.
That makes sense. That makes sense because it's like, what did they talk about? The 0.6 millimeter thickness. I figure that's going to make it feel a bit cheap. Cube square to take. If you have a Tornado V3, I don't think the Dolphin cube is worth it.
It actually performs nicely.
What if you have a Tornado V3, but you want a cube that's somewhere between a GAN 357 and a Diane? Then it's perfect.
That makes sense.
You want a cube
Corner
that
cutting's really good.
explode into 1,000 pieces.
Really loose. Let's see this one.
Geez, that was loose.
This is above the standard. Is that right?
Yeah, that's standard.
All right, so I got it right.
Got it.
Big speed
Can't
difference
fool
between
him.
the standard and the flagship. Oh, and funny fact, I actually just noticed that there's 3 dolphins on the logo.
How did it take you this long to notice
I
there's 3
hadn't
dolphins?
actually paid attention to that.
called it the Dolphin Cube.
Well, it's like I subconsciously knew, but I didn't like know.
Backtracking.
But yeah, so
How did you
I would
miss the
rate this
dolphins?
4.5 dolphins out of 5.
4.5 dolphins out of 5. It's reasonably
For me,
high, actually,
I
isn't it?
prefer the standard one. It's a little bit more controllable.
Standard one. Well, see, I'm curious about the standard one just because it's spring and it's just corner to edge. Now I'm lost because I can't remember if the standard had adjustable magnets or not. Maybe the standard was non-adjustable.
Oh man, I don't know. The flagship one is just so much more effortless to turn though. Good magnetic feel. Honestly, I'm really happy with these for the price, and I think it's going to be a really good contender.
Adjustment
so
stuff,
I'm
adjustment
super
stuff,
excited to see
adjustment stuff.
what other cubes this new manufacturer comes out with. But yeah, overall, really nice cubes. I like them.
So for my thoughts on these cubes, I think they're pretty good, even like out of the box. The standard one is very fast, but still like somewhat controllable. It is a little too flexible.
Okay. Floppy, squishy, clacky. That's what we're getting.
Out of the box, in my opinion.
I don't know. Hey, I don't know. I'm not going to get it in stock for sure. Go buy one at the Cubicle or SpeedCube shop if you really want one. But I'm going to wait and see how this is received. The big question is, as always, is like, who's going to main it? Like, who's realistically, no one's going to be maining this, are they? No one competitive is going to be maining this. And that's an interesting one because, yeah, that almost leads me to go, well, why did they make it then? If no one's going to make it, if no one's going to main it, why did they make it? But that's quite reductive, isn't it? Like, that's not very cool. Like, why does anyone do anything in that case? Why does anyone have an original idea? Why does anyone try anything? The way it's priced, I think, is probably good for a gamble because it's not as mad as some of the other like first flagships we've had come out. Here's a wild take, okay? I don't want to get into a debate about Tesla and Elon Musk and all that stuff, but Tesla, here's what they did. Rather than creating a cheap electric car that everyone would have a go of and just would be a bit rubbish, they created a really expensive one so that people would want it, right? And that worked for them. It's more complicated than that, but that's a very, very bleak and vague look at their strategy. Now, I feel like cube companies, bear with me, I feel like cube companies, Tianma, MS, maybe not HaiTun yet, but Tianma, MS, they came out of the gate swinging with their go at a flagship cube. They were trying to break what is potentially the most competitive part of the market and also the smallest part of the market, right? I have to explain this to people all the time, that there are so many more beginners than there are pros. And that counts for selling cubes the way it does for selling your content to people as well. Content that appeals to more beginner cubers will appeal to more people than content that is super niche that appeals to ultra fast cubers. That is why I think we haven't heard much more from MS, and we haven't heard much more from Tianma. I have my own opinions about the hardware. Like, I don't think it was very good. That's a reason. But also they were trying to make massive moves, massive expensive moves, lots of R&D, lots of expensive production. They were trying to make those moves into this tiny piece of the market. And that's why they've kind of gone away. Now, taking what I've just said and applying that to HaiTun, they have at least produced a standard. They've priced it. I mean, it's not a budget cube, is it? It's not a budget, but it's not exactly super ultra flagship either. And even the higher sort of level one is not ridiculously priced. And from what Chen Mo was saying, we're already talking about the next version. So I don't know. So it's like, yeah, I don't understand why new cube companies would try and attack that flagship end of the market. It's so risky and so expensive. For what? You know, they're not going to be selling thousands of these things. They're not going to be selling tens of thousands of these things. So that's my thoughts, everyone. That's my thoughts on what's going on there. The headlines, it looks a bit squishy. It looks very fragile. It looks like a returns nightmare potentially waiting to happen. In terms of performance, it looks like Cubehead said, it looks all right. It doesn't look like it's going to set the world on fire. What do you think in the chat? Like, let me know. Like, how fussed are you about the Dolphin Cube? I'm not going to stock it. It's too much of a risk for New Zealand. That's what I've learned about new manufacturer cubes here in New Zealand. John wonders how Top Gear magazine might describe its handling. Without having held it and without having turned it, I can't actually accurately say. But maybe I'll get one and have a look at it. Maybe I'll take it to some competitions with me and let other people have a go on it. I want to see just how it copes with being in my bag. Do you know? I want to see how it copes with being thrown on the shelf and taken down and solved and thrown back on the shelf. I don't trust the internals. I don't trust how those magnets are held. It's a no from Cube Squared. I felt like it was a no from Marcus as well. Now, everyone, here's the other video I wanted to look at. Okay, so or let's go back into some lore. Let's go back into the story. So UK Cuba
slowed down in making
UK Cuba
started a second
called "Is Cubing Dead?", which stirred up quite the commentary. 155 comments. Oh, he's replied to my comment. What did he say? So I said this video is genius for the way it's made the comments section blow up. If this was your intention, then I take my sweaty hat off to you, sir. UK Cuba said, who knows, maybe. He's such an enigma. He's such a tease, this old UK Cuba. Dang, he's had some views. Oh, no, that's J-Perm. I thought that was... Never mind. How is UK? Subscribe to UK Cuba, everyone. 2.2 subs. Getting some views on them videos, though. What was that Mr. Beast video? What's his most popular? Let's see. Speedcuber reacts to Mr. Beast's fake scene. That's how to get views. 51K. Okay. Anyway, That's not why we're here. We're here to talk about is.
HaiTun has started a second channel based entirely away from speed.
And I think what we're going to do is go straight into our man Sagrid. Our man Swagrid's reaction to this video. So clips. No, I don't want clips. I want liked videos. And I want to go to Cubing Will Live from Swagrid. This is a long one.
So is this
All the way through it. Swagrid has done something cool, okay? And it's exciting me because it's like it's what I'm trying to do as well. It's what I started doing with Boomer Cuber back at the start of last year, was trying to get into reaction content in cubing. It's what I'm doing right now. Doi. And he's done it. He's done it, by Jove. He's done it. Thank you to Dylan, the person whose video I reacted to the other day, who put me on to Swagrid. I'm glad you did, because this is hype. I'm excited to see this.
enough evidence to prove that cubing might be on its way out?
So, just so we're all clear, this is meta, right? Because I'm reacting to Swagrid's reaction video to, or Swagrid's response, reacting to Swagrid's response to UK Cuba, all right? So, please watch their video in full as well for full transparency. I cannot repeat that enough. You need to go and watch UK Cuba's video. You need to subscribe. You need to go watch Swagrid's video as well. You need to go subscribe. If you want good cubing content, because cubing content, all right, I'm kind of jumping ahead with my conclusion. Cubing's not dead. Don't be ridiculous. Cubing content, I think, might be dead. I think it's dead. I think it's boring. And I don't claim to have the answers to it, but I'm looking for the answers to it. And I think Swagrid is too. And I think to an extent, UK Cuba is as well. Let's watch.
Do you remember that old Blend the Rules video? It was 14
Nope.
minutes of nothing you haven't seen before, you know. Inspection time is cheating and all the current rankings and times are wrong because they use inspection time. You shouldn't be able to use inspection time. Generic point, blah, blah, blah. Heard it all before. But because the editing was pretty good, some people actually listened. Most people just disagreed and ratioed the man, but some people actually did stop and listen.
I don't know that video. I don't know that particularly well, whatever video he's referencing here. But I think what he's saying, what he's suggesting is that misinformation was presented in that video, or it was just not important information, or it was just opinion. Something.
Yeah, this is worse. We have a new worst cubing opinion piece on YouTube, so let's break it down.
HaiTun has started
Okay.
a second channel based entirely
So Swagrid does not like this take.
God forbid a man have hobbies.
Many of the top
Yeah, that's fair. He comes in hot with the, oh my God, JPerm has a second channel and it's nothing to do with cubing. Of course he does. He's a human being. I've got a second channel, which is FPV drones. I've got a third channel, which is Boomer Cuber. I've got a fourth one, which is music. Everyone does more than one thing. And to suggest that someone's quit something just because they have other interests, it's kind of daft.
creators have
Cube Squared coming in with the takes. Making cubing content nowadays is just not the same from back then. It's now so hard to stand out and think of original ideas with the amount of creativity you're rivaling with. Yes and no. I don't think we're right. I don't think we're up against that much creativity, honest. I think that's the problem. I think there's loads of it. Like unboxing, review, tutorials, they're always going to exist, but I don't want to sit and watch them. I wouldn't sit down and choose to watch one if I was just chilling, you know? If I was looking for something, then I'd go and watch that. But if I'm just chilling and want to watch some content, because I don't really watch TV, I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch things about things I'm interested in by people who interest me in those subject areas. Like that's how I watch TV. I'll sit down and I'll watch some stuff around Pokemon. I play the card game. I'll sit down and I'll watch one of my favorite creators in FPV, who I make I make his thumbnails. I make his thumbnails because I love his content, and I reached out to him going like, bro, let me help. I'll sit and watch his stuff because it's not just like, here's how you do this. It's like, it's interesting. And there's none of that in cubing. And it's hard. I think it is difficult to make that in cubing, to be fair. It's hard to make cubing entertainment, you know? And I'm too old to be interested in Tingman, who's good at what he does for the audience he does it for. If that makes sense. No hate. No hate to Tingman. He's good at what he does for the audience he does it for.
down
But anyway.
videos.
Pause. Okay, let's break down all of the YouTubers. That are
So
on
our
screen.
man
Number one,
Swagrid
YouTubers.
goes through a bunch of reasons why this list is erroneous, or like not a good example, or not a good point. You can go and watch that. But here's where the wacky takes start from UK Cuba. Thinks cubing is dying. Ask any cube store how they're selling.
Let me tell
Cubing's
you
not
why I
dying.
haven't picked up a cube in such a long time. And the main reason is that I generally have not been finding cubing that fun anymore.
Okay, this is an interesting take because it's all his personal opinion. He's not been finding cubing that interesting. That doesn't mean that cubing is dying. What it probably means is he's subscribing to other stuff on YouTube, and his YouTube feed is probably changing. Mine changes depending on the seasons I'm in. So there's a new set of Pokemon cards coming out in March, and I'm getting a whole lot of Pokemon stuff recommended to me at the moment because I'm looking for it, because I'm telling the algorithm it's what I want. Right? That's you can't take what the algorithm is telling you and think that that's real, because the algorithm is just giving you what you want. The algorithm is people. It rewards you with what you want because you've told it that that's what you want.
I think this
It's a rant. It's a take.
Throughout the entire community.
This is a great bit of detective work.
Check the screenshots. Timestamps. 2 months ago, 1 year ago, 8 years ago.
Great detective work.
All right. I'm going to wrap back to those soon. But firstly, we can all lose motivation from time to time. And generally, the best way to combat this is to try something new. A new event, a new concept, a new corner of cubing you haven't touched.
True that. Sometimes I cannot be done with 3x3. I just can't be arsed. So I'll do something else. I'll grind something else for a while. Sometimes I can't be arsed with cubing, and I just won't cube for 3 months. That's also fine. Doesn't mean anything's dead. It just means that you're a human being with a brain.
Like hardware or
that
method dev,
drifts a bit
cubing,
sometimes.
Cubing is a really deep hobby. You can almost certainly find something new to do.
He makes the case that there's always something new to do and something new to learn.
Recorded the voiceover.
So, I should say, let's point out, let's be fair, and I'll show you this as well. So UK Cuba's here in the comments, and these guys are on good terms. I don't know if they're mates. Maybe they're mates in real life. I don't know. But they clearly are on talking terms. And as was pointed out in the disclaimer, Swagrid's not trying to come at UK Cuba or anything like that. That's not the point of this video. He just disagrees with it. And this is a great point to jump in and just be a little bit of a dad and just, say it's okay to disagree with people. Just because you disagree with people doesn't mean you can't talk to them. You're allowed to talk to people you disagree with, even if you disagree with them. I feel like that nuance is lost a bit. And that's not a young person thing. That's the world we live in. So he's going to go in to talk about a bunch of stuff on releases, because UK Cuba talks about cubes being released and that not being exciting anymore. Actually, let's look at that because that's kind of wacky. And then we'll have to wrap up soon because I need to go and just do some work.
Is the sheer lack of exciting releases.
A lack of exciting releases?
This is something that is talked about really often, so I'll keep this short. But I think that the last cube everyone was excited for was the X-Man Tornado version 3, and that was released over a year ago now. You could argue that the GAN 14 was somewhat exciting, but to be honest, I didn't pay that much
He missed the
attention.
GAN train. I mean, he missed the Moyu train. Have you not been watching the Moyu horror show? Have you not been watching the Moyu shower? What was the last cube I was genuinely excited for? Probably when I was doing Boomer Cuber back a year ago. Was when the Huameng was coming out. There was a bit of excitement about that because there was a bit of mystery about it. And because it had, oh gosh, what's his name? The 3.47 record guy. What was his name? Someone will put it in the chat for me and put me out of my misery. But because he was behind it. So that was cool. And there was a lot of hype on Reddit and stuff about that. But here's the thing, right? Here's another take. There may have been another cube since then that's been more hyped on Reddit than that. But the fact of the matter is I haven't looked on Reddit since I was looking into the YS3M. So I could take that and extrapolate that there's no hype cube. But that's not true. That's just my experience mixed with my opinion because I haven't looked for one. Does that make sense? And I think that's what's happened here with UK Cuba. Again, no hate to UK Cuba at all. Here's what's happening. I think UK Cuba is having his own sort of crisis with cubing. And maybe he's navigating it. And he's made this video to try and help him navigate that, which is healthy and great. I don't disagree. I don't agree with the take. You know, I don't agree with the take, and that's fine. We're allowed to disagree with each other, everyone. That's how the world works.
For that release, which is why I don't know too much about it.
Maybe he just worded it poorly. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it sounds a lot like his argument that he didn't like the GAN 14 was that he personally didn't know much about the GAN 14. I don't know much about the GAN 14.
It's a wonky argument.
Every GAN flagship is a big release.
So go and watch. Honestly, I encourage you. Please do subscribe to Sagrid and UK Cuba. I'm going to watch the end of this video because I haven't watched it yet.
Upsides. And that's it. That's the video. These knockout competitions, they would only make up 0.7% of all
competitions of format. Okay. I want to see this bit, actually.
It started to become clear that if no one innovated, then cubing would soon start to become less and less about the cubes which we use. And that's a shame, because before, this was one of the major
I'm on the wrong
things that
screen.
influenced the growth of this hobby. Another thing that has led up to this point is the vast skill gap within cubing. For someone like me who has been doing it for many years, it's so demotivated when you just aren't getting the improvements that you would like to see. This is the same with any sport or competitive hobby, and is by no means the fault of anyone within this
Yeah,
community.
you can't
It's just a
extrapolate that
naturally
to
occurring
cubing
thing
in
that
itself.
happens
That's
when
your
other people
cubing.
improve at such a rapid rate.
Okay, but no, actually, when you have a competitive thing, it can be demotivating.
I want to see this take.
Losing and losing.
Not heard
and
this one
losing.
before.
Which is why it's great that cubing is a solo competitive hobby where you only compete against yourself. Unless you're in the absolute upper echelons, I'm talking top 20 in your event.
That is literally what cubing's about. It's about competing against yourself, unless you're
Next, I think
top
there
1%.
should be a change to the competition structure, whether that be a 1v1 format tournament or a new event that puts everyone...
Is Sagrid going to talk about Red Bull, I wonder?
There needs to be something that changes the scene and brings new people into the competitive side of
Yu
the
Sheng
hobby.
Du,
Many
thank you,
people
John.
have spoken about a live competition with high stakes.
Oh, look,
and
I can
knockout
I put
stages.
comments on the
truly
screen?
believe that this could massively
Hey.
increase viewership to this community.
clever,
and
isn't it?
where there are views, there will come people to capitalize on those views. which
So
is where the
this
new
is a
creators
great
blow
take.
up
This is
and
a
the
great
old
take.
creators
This is
start
a great
pushing
take.
more.
Okay, this is a great take, and I've talked about this before. I don't know how it happened. I want someone to explain it to me, but I don't know how it happened. How did the Red Bull and Rubik's partnership fizzle out? We still see... Oh geez, what are their name? The Weyer brothers. That footage of the Weyer brothers competing head to head at Red Bull is still shared, and that was from 2019, 2018, right? If that is not proof and validation of the point that UK Cuba is making right here, I don't know what is. I'm so sad. And I was sad at the time because WCA fanboys essentially were just like, oh, this isn't WCA. Oh, this is different. Oh, I don't like it. The fact of the matter is the WCA competitions are not a spectator sport. Prove me wrong. They're not a spectator sport. What we need is innovation from people outside cubing, like what Red Bull did. I'm so sad. I'm mad about it. I don't know who's to blame. If it was Red Bull, then I'm mad at Red Bull. If it was the WCA, then I'm mad at WCA. If it was Rubik's, then I'm mad at Rubik's. I know the pandemic played a part in it because it was getting hot just before then. And I know there were some organizational issues within Red Bull, I think. I don't know, though. That might have been hindered by WCA as well. Everyone was making things up as they went along in 2020, and that's fair. But I'm so sad that Red Bull Rubik's died. So sad. Because that was our greatest opportunity. That was our biggest opportunity that we had to grow cubing. Is it any wonder? Like, think about it, okay? Think about all the stuff that happened. Red Bull was happening. The Netflix documentary happened. And cubing was massive. Massive. It's still not back to being as big as it was then. So I'm with you on that. I want to see where this goes.
All right, now we're getting somewhere. Remember when I said I'd loop back around to the whole world records thing? This is that. As records will only get rarer as time goes, there's a few things we can do to keep the hype up in the community. Firstly, we need to place more emphasis on championships, whether it be national, continental, world. They've always played second fiddle to getting a record for that same region. So we, as the cubing community, need to start caring a little bit more about who is the champion. Where.
That's an interesting take, actually, as well. That is an interesting take, and something that I sort of missed when I first came into the community as well. I didn't realize what was happening at Nats. I didn't really understand the champion part. And I think that could be handled better. That actually 100%, that needs to be a badge on like an ICR or an NR. That needs to be a badge on WCA. Why is it not a badge on the WCA? That's insane. That's a great take.
As for the different tournament format, yeah, no, I agree. I already made a video about this, and a lot of people seem to share this opinion. It will, however, infringe on the WCA's mission statement, which is to give everybody an equal chance to compete in all competitions.
Is that what it says? Is that what it says, Sagrid? Also, I would say mission statements can change. Mission statements evolve through time. That's how they work.
It will, however, infringe on the WCA's mission statement, which is to give everybody an equal chance.
More competitions in more countries with more people and more fun. Well, there's your out. More fun. What does more fun mean? Break that down for me, WCA. What does more fun mean? Fun for competitors or fun for viewers? How long has that been the WCA mission statement? I wonder. Mission statements become unfit for purpose after a while. They do. And they need to be reviewed. Let's just go WCA mission statement. Let's see. When was it? Vision and strategy 2021. Background review of the mission and spirit. As part of the process of creating the strategic plan, the board reviewed the mission and spirit of the organization, comparing how we are currently meeting these statements. While reviewing how the organization has achieved the mission and spirit, it was noted that unfortunately key safety measures, blah, 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 blah. So we didn't achieve more competition, obviously, while also potentially affecting fair and equal conditions. Current situation, the next steps, short-term future. So no mention of Red Bull in there. Oh, well. Where is the strategy? Here we go. Next steps. 2024. Sports recognition. There it is, Sagrid. 2024. Sports recognition. How do we get that? How do we get recognized? That could mean being recognized as a sport. Competition growth. Yeah. 2026 media presence through TV streaming partnerships. Partnerships. Red Bull. Wii U, strong structure and partnerships. We trashed the partnership, possibly, or Red Bull did. I don't know. SWOT analysis. Weaknesses. What are the weaknesses? Technology through which we deliver our services. Sure. A key weakness. Threats which the WCA may face in the future. Staff members. Oh, they've missed out some stuff there. I'm not sure this is blowing my mind, this strategic review, everyone. Where is the mission statement? It is clear to the board that the organization should seek alternative sources of funding to support the current competition, strategic partnerships, i.e. Red Bull. To achieve this, the board is actually working on the production of the WCA merchandise line. You can't make money out of merch. That's an issue. Merch doesn't make money. Merch is a break even. Oh, that's alarming. You need sponsorship. You need partnerships. Okay, I'm getting off track here. Let's go back to YouTube. Come on now. Where was I? History. This will work. I want to hear what Sagrid said.
Compete in all competitions under the same conditions. Pure equity. Having an invite-only tournament or a competition where you can only register if you're, say, sub-7 on 3x3, and then that tournament has a different format, different conditions to a regular competition, that does infringe on the mission statement.
And if that is our only opportunity for growth, then the mission statement is not fit for purpose. Whoo! Hot takes today, everyone.
But it seems like some people in the WCA and some people in the WSOT are open to the idea of making small infringements on the mission statement, so long as these small infringements result in big positive changes.
No, this is okay. I'm going to come at you slightly. I'm going to come at you slightly there, Sagrid. It's not about infringing on the mission statement. It's about looking critically at the mission statement and asking, is this fit for purpose? And fit for purpose means different things depending on the environment we're in. And the environment we are in has changed post-COVID, was changing before post-COVID. We've seen the evidence of exposure and what it can do for us. It's incredible. This is my opinion, everyone. My opinion. Nothing but love for the WCA delegates, the volunteers that make the WCA work. A fantastic organization. Genuinely, nothing but love for the WCA and the people in the WCA. I'm only coming at the mission statement and going, actually, hold on. What's happening here? And nothing but love for Sagrid as well for giving me the chance to jump off on these points.
In the way that the community and the general public spectates the sport. So in the future of speedcubing, we might see these exclusive knockout tournaments or league format or something like that, which will
league would be great.
Tiny amount of equity for large
speedcubing. Here we go. League could be great. Speedcubing could learn a lot from Monkey League. Oh my days, Monkey League, brilliant. One of the most incredible things to happen to speedcubing. And actually, Pokemon card. I hate to go on about it, but card games have leagues, right? We have. Shoot, maybe I just need to do that. Maybe that's something I need to do on a club level just to try it out. Anyway, I think league is a great idea, Sagrid. I love that.
If say for example, if there were 15 of these competitions held annually, well, in 2023 we had 2,138 regular competitions held. This means that if we had these knockout competitions, they would only make up 0.7% of all competitions at most.
Oh, you're preaching to the choir. You're preaching to the choir, Sagrid. Like
infringement, I think, considering the possible upsides.
He's so right. He's still wrong on the infringement thing. We need to change the mission statement. But you're so right, brother. You're so right. We need, and this is what I'm talking about. There was so much gnarly pushback against the Red Bull thing because it wasn't WCA. It wasn't WCA. Wow. And it wasn't WCA because the WCA, my understanding, refused to bend and refused to innovate to an extent. Should we look into sports stacking for inspiration? Saw one of their world champs on TV once. I don't know if we should. There's problems with sports stacking that I probably don't know enough about to comment on, and probably don't know enough about to have opinions on or compare us to. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, clicked on the wrong screen. Come on, Sagrid, wrap it up.
No, that's it. That's the video.
That's the video. Apparently there's a very emotional ending to this video, which I'm not going to spoil you because you should all go and watch that. It's 10:47, everyone. 10:47 a.m. here in New Zealand. I need to probably get off and do some jobs. I've been on here for an hour and 10 minutes already. Good grief. I was going to do an hour max today. Well, I hope you've all had fun. Go about your business and do your thing. Maybe I'll cut a video out of this stream. Maybe I won't. Depends how much time I've got this week. To be honest, I've got a delivery arriving today, and I've got a real life to live, which is dreadfully time consuming. Anyway, peace. Thank you so much for watching, those of you who have. Thank you so much for chatting, those of you who have. If you've watched this far after the fact and you have opinions, smash them into the comments. I would love to hear from you. And remember my catchphrase, eat chips, not too many though. Goodbye, everyone.